Okay. Hello, everybody. All right. Well, one sec. Autofocus much? That's what I get for futzing with stuff. There we go. All right, that's better. Uh, okay, there we go. How's everybody today? Um, it's Tuesday, and I'm going to do a little Rust today because Friday is my child's graduation on Friday. So I may not be on Friday because we have to prep for that, and that's going to gonna take up a lot of time. So and I'm gonna take off all next week because of packing and all that stuff. So it didn't make a lot of sense for me to work until like Wednesday trying to make shit happen. So I told my boss I was gonna be off all week. So he's like, "Yes, have at it." So I was like, "Cool." Um, how's everybody doing? Everybody enjoying themselves, having a good time? Uh, crap. Okay, so I don't know why it did not save, but there we go. It's not the interview with Blue Mira. We're just going to do some Rust and some news today. Um, so yeah. Let me go over here to my yeah. Uh, hopefully that thing will fix itself. Let me see. Can I have it re-announce? Let viewers know stream is previously recorded. Let me know if your stream features branded content. Oh yeah, probably should have done that. Oh well, it won't be on there in a couple weeks. Um, so oh yes, today's episode of the Breaking Security Twitch stream is brought to you by Blue Mara, which provides easy to use SIM and XDR, which can be set up in minutes. Teams of all sizes can resolve security threats faster with detection rules written by BreakSec's own Amanda Berlin, Miss Berlin. You can find out more bluemira.com/break. And yeah, we had Bill Rayer on last Saturday or Sunday, a couple days ago, talking about SIM and XDR and some of the process by which they go and they do detections and how things work there. It was a really interesting discussion. It wasn't like, oh my God, Blue Mirror is the best. This it was just pretty much talking about how, in general, threat detections and threat modeling work, or not threat modeling, but threat detections and threat intelligence and thrunting. And I think we talked a little bit about Space Camp at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, it was a good discussion, and we'll have it up on the podcast here in a day or so. And yeah, if you're interested, go check that out. And yeah, we're gonna go through a little bit of Rust today, and we're gonna continue on doing the guessing game that I talked about last week. So I am way up in this camera, ain't I? Got to stay out of focus just enough that you can't see my nose hair. So that's got that going for me. So let me see. What do we got? Okay, so big camera, small browser. There we go. Yeah. So see, there's that, and going to go back to the Rust stuff. So I was actually looking something up as well. When I was learning Golang, one of the articles that I was trying to figure out, because the problem that I've always had with programming in general was that, um, uh, you learn it, but then you don't do anything with it, so you lose the skills. And I could quickly see myself with the Golang stuff going like, okay, I've learned the basics. Um, what am I going to do with it, right? Um, So when I was learning Golang, there was a story about how to start a Go project in 2023. Reading through some of this stuff, I mean, it basically wasn't how to start a Go project. It was basically yet another discussion on how to, you know, technically start a project. Like you get an IDE, set up your environment. Wait a minute. Okay, one sec. Let's. Don't know why everything got all mixed up here, but so yeah, it goes through talking about an IDE, talks about using things like Visual Studio Code. There's one called GoLand, And it's yeah, okay. Starting a project is as easy as starting a new directory and running go mod init. Okay, yeah, no, okay, whatever. I'm going back even before this and going like, what the hell are we wanting to build, right? Um, I learned this, but what the hell am I going to build? What am I going to do with this? I mean, ideally, one who is learning this is going to either take this to their job and use it, or something else. And I'm like, I don't do coding at my job. I can barely build a dashboard. I can make some queries in, Jira, but what am I going to do with this? So I've been trying to figure out what we can do with this, and understand where we're going with this, because without a path forward, I'm just spinning my wheels on this stuff. So, and at that point, it's like, why learn a programming language at all? So, um, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with regards to what we're gonna do with Go, with Rust, with anything else we learn. So, and the next programming language I decide to learn may be something I just make it available for use online or on Udemy or something like that, and start making fat bank off those things. So, because I have taken some content creation courses. I'm being mentored on some of that stuff, and I want to start creating some content that people will buy. So, I've also got some stuff I'm working on with somebody else on some startup security initiatives. So I'm trying to find ways to branch out, if you will. And actually had a discussion this morning with somebody who wants to write a book with me. And my proclivity for writing is such that I don't know. I don't know. So moving to San Diego may actually like propel my career even further, or it just may implode upon itself. So I don't know. We'll find out. Well, and hopefully y'all will be here with me when I make those decisions and when we figure out what we're gonna do there. So, um, oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how that ended up like that, but there we go. All right. So, yeah, how's everybody doing today? Thank you, viewer. Welcome, viewer. One viewer. Appreciate you, one viewer. Um, we are going to go through. So this is the Go version of that. It's like, oh, you just need to do this, and you're going to start a project. You're going to get packages, and you're going to get dependencies. And I'm like, well, okay, what fucking dependencies do I need, right? It's like, let's say I want to make another Nmap or something that will, do security, or I don't even know what I can do with my stuff. It's like, can I, I guess the sky's the limit. It's just I need to understand how to develop software, right? So, um, what does that look like? How am I gonna, what do I want to build, right? So, this is the Go version, and I think, what was it, the yeah. Here's the getting to know Rust functionality. So everybody who was like how to start a project in Rust, I don't think when I say that it's like, oh, you need to, you know Rust, but it's like you need to know what you want to build. You need to make sure that it's something is legit, because that's where I run into. It's like, okay, I want to do something in Rust. Then it's like, oh, I can just search for something and find it. It's like, oh, nmap in Rust. Yep, ding, there you go, done. Okay, my job's done. I don't have to do anything else. Here's Rust scan. So I don't need to make nmap because here it is. Um, I mean, it's just that simple. It's like, why make something when something already exists out there, right? Um, I know that's probably not the best way to do it, but yeah, it's like, why is mine going to be any different? Oh, and this one even runs in the Dockers, so awesome. And they got a So it's interesting. So yeah, Rust Scan. It's a modern port scanner, fast, smart, effective. Uses Debian or Arch. It's got Homebrew, Docker pull Rust Scan, so it's Dockerized. So this person has created Rust Scan. Let me go grab that for everybody. If you wanna look at an Nmap clone in Rust, knock it out. There it is, right there. All right, I'm gonna hide my screen here. All right, so I guess that's not to say that we couldn't make our own, but it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. If anybody has ideas, I would love to hear them. Or maybe we can collaborate on something. Maybe it doesn't have to be like that. Maybe we can collaborate and listen. So I'm on Discord. Our Discord is available for those folks that want to get involved. No, I can't even type today. Jesus. Discord, not Discrod. Discrod. Yeah, there you go. We also, I'm gonna put a shout out here for the CSEC East Discord as well. Let me move that over. Invite people. Copy. So this one will expire in 7 days. Expires on what is today? Today is the 13th. So on the 19th, we'll just say 19 June. CSEC East Discord. So for those of you in the Pacific Northwest, looking for something to do, meet up, networking with folks in the PNW. This used to be, well, I didn't actually make this. This is the new organizers of CSEC East, Matt and Ted. I've joined it. I'm in it. And I'm technically an admin, but I'll probably have them remove me as an admin and just make me a normal user eventually. But so this is the Meetup Discord for all intents and purposes. They're trying to build that up, make it more of a community, and so they need your help. So if you're in Oregon or Idaho or whatever, and you just want to network some folks in the area, that's always a viable alternative. But you can join that Discord right there and help out. So yeah, Ted I know does a lot of outdoor stuff, so he loves him some. Looks like they're also doing something on Thursday. I am not going to be available on Thursday. I have to go pick up my mama. On Thursday, and I have a big ass meeting on Thursday. Big ass meeting. Sorry. So it looks like Discord is making it so that way when you go into streaming mode, it will actually truncate your username. Because I'm in Discord right now, streamer mode is enabled, and I'm gonna hit disable and see if. Okay, so yeah, that's what happens. Interesting. So when I'm in streamer mode, it obfuscates your username. So, oh, cool. All right, yay. Let's set a date. Yay. I'm off all next week. Because I'm moving, yo. All right. So, anyway, so Rust Scan, I almost want to pull this down and just look at it, but I don't know enough about Rust to be able to do so. So what we'll do is we'll keep learning Rust. I actually I have been reading through the Cargo book. It's not bad. It's not bad. Oh yeah, the Rust programming language. This is the guessing game book. This is the Cargo book. And here's the how to start a Rust project. Hey, Beta Wolf, what's up, my dude? So yeah, if you haven't Beta Wolf, if you haven't joined the Discord, go do so. It's right there. I'm pointing at it like you can see me pointing at it on the screen. It's right there. Um, so yeah, Vault Tree SDK, the world's first fully functional data in use encryption, is now generally available. Oh, interesting. I don't know if this is a company that's doing this. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Ugh. Okay, yeah. That's not good. Apparently, oh, is this a company that advertises shit? Yeah, okay. Oh, what I thought was cool is I also learned how to update Rust. You know, I downloaded the zip file and I was like, well, how am I going to update this thing? Am I going to have to go in and like manually update it every time? No, you just go to Rust up default stable. So if I open up me a terminal, new terminal in RUST, Rust, and then you go Rust update stable, and it says syncing infosec, syncing channel updates for blah blah blah. I'm assuming that there's a like a beta version or like cutting edge version or something like that. But once you've added Rust to the path, which we did last Friday, I think so, Friday, you can just run it from anywhere and then run Rust up, and then it will do its thing. So cargo is live. In hold on here, homie. Copy current address. That's not it. Okay. All right. So Beta Wolf. There's the invite for CSEC East's meetup. There you go. Yeah, go grab that. It was on the screen at the bottom. I didn't know you couldn't see previous chats in. I thought you could see previous chats in Twitch. Anyway, so here they go through this on the dev.to site for how to set up a oh, here it is. Okay, so let me see. How far did we get? We got to. I think we talked about let mut bananas equal 5 is mutable. So these are the ways of making an immutable, and so it's almost like a constant in Go. So if you don't have mut at the beginning, it is like you can't change it, right? Constant means once you've set it, you've got to forget it, right? Also, this isn't a suggestion, just something cool I saw. My lightning fast and powerful code editor. Okay, let's go look. Modern open source code editor in Rust. Native GUI and Rust powered performance as we developers know what you need for an essential tool. We developers know what you need. That already doesn't sit well with me, but okay. We know what you need. Join us. Write code with joy in Lapsy. Lapsy? Lapis? It's Lapis, right? Lapis? Lapsy? Yeah, something like that. I don't write good. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. So it's probably lapse or something like that. LAPC. The CE is an S like lapse, like a lapse in judgment of not picking something that everybody in the world uses, like VS Code. Native GUI with GPU acceleration. Really? Do I need GPU acceleration in my code IDE? I mean, am I worried about needing to crunch all the crunch all the pixels, and no one knows what the name is or means? It's probably French. What do you mean nobody knows what the name is? Did you just pick something? Was it like what is it like Chat GPT, but for developing or like drug companies? It's like, how do they figure out the names of like Levaquin or whatever? It's like, the hell is that? Anyway, the point being is its VS Code is slow, and so their IDE is fast because it's written in Rust. Is VS Code slow? Okay, I was unaware that it was slow. So Chat Gipty, yeah, that's a good one. Chat Gipty, that's yeah, that makes sense. Batteries included. Syntax highlighting using tree sitter. Much see the one thing I also love about sites that are designed for developers by developers of developers, or yeah, something like that. They all just, assume you know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, oh yeah, it's built-in LSP support, and tree sitter, and code syntax highlighting, and code intelligence. Okay, great. WASI plugin system. God, man, I wish VS Code had WASI plugin system. White, affluent, silly interface plug system. WASI. That's what WASI stands for. Vim like modal editing. Ah, yes, the modal editing is what I look for in all IDEs. Tree sitter is cool. It's code highlighting plus plus. Okay. Great. I'm not bagging on them. I'm sure it's great if you actually know what the fuck they're talking about. But right now I'm kind of turned off. So, but you know what? Go check it out. If you're a developer, I know dick about Rust. So, um, can I do things other than Rust in a thing built by Rust? Probably. Maybe. Um, maybe it does other things. I don't know. Can I write JavaScript in it or something? I don't know. Remember, I'm not a developer at any means. You're further shit. Come on, Beta Wolf. Don't play. You know that I am at maximum noob on this. So, oh, okay. So I can, do Go programming in a Rust created IDE. See, I don't write a lot of code, so VS Code for me is fast enough. If I'm worried about milliseconds, I imagine I'd be in the Gen 2 crowd if I was worried about, every flop I needed out of my IDE. So, um, okay. See, I think it's that sameness. It's like, I can, if I go into a new job and they're all using the same tools, it's great. But if it's like, if I go in and it's like, oh, well, we don't use VI here, we use Emacs. And it's like, oh, great, fuck. Okay. Or, one, as I used to tell people back in the day, when I sat down at Linux boxes, any Linux or Unix box, I always knew VM was on the box. You know, if I had grown up learning Nano or Emacs or whatever, I'd have been lost, right? It can just be a memory hog sometimes, not as bad as Atom, but pretty rough. Sometimes I've had it crash on my work system with 64 gigs of RAM. Wow. You must have a lot of stuff open then. Because I haven't had a ton of shit. So, again, I'm not a real developer, but like, if you've got a dozen tabs open inside of your code browser for all intents and purposes, that could be, that's fair. I get that, Um, yeah, and the last thing you want is for it to crash and then like not save your state or not save code that you've been spending all day writing on or something like that. Unless you're doing something like save early, save often. Uh, so yeah. Okay. So if you're watching, by the way, I am one of these rare times I've got the Discord up and running as well, so you can come and hang out. If you're Yes, when I'm iterating through code, I tend to have a lot of tabs open because I'm still a noob, so I'm figuring out how to make my code more simplified, more Rust. Woo. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That's cool. That makes sense for me. Um, I used to I used to have issues at work, or in my current work site. I've got it. I used to consider having all of these tabs that I have open, which you can't see, is a big problem until I got to my current workplace where I have like 100 tabs open and 30 of them are probably the same freaking tab. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So, but yeah, that's probably where the majority of my 8 gigs of RAM is going in my piece of shit laptop. So, is what it is. So yeah, there's always more options. Go out and check out laps.dev, or any of your favorite text editors. Hell, you could use VI if you wanted to write Rust. Nothing says you can't. All right, so we're going to continue on here. We're going to do some Rust. So Your constants kind of in apples equals 5 means you can't change it once you set it, right? So apples equals 5. Apples will always equal 5 in, at least in this Rust script, I think. Variables are immutable, meaning once you give the value won't change. Variables immutability will be in chapter 3, okay. And then, of course, you've got comments at the end here, / comment until the end of the line. Rust ignores everything in those comments. We'll discuss comments in chapter 3 as well. All right, so returning to the program, you know that let mute, it's actually I would say mute, or yeah, let mute guess. So here's the let mute guess. I'm not a fan of this gray shit that's in here. I'm not exactly sure why that stuff is in there. It's probably having something to do with the Rust analyzer that is running on the box. Some people hate when people say mut for mute. Yeah, let mute, because it's mutable, right? It's mutable. Yeah. So let mute guess will introduce a mutable variable named guess. That's what we did here. Let mute guess equals string new. The equal sign tells Rust we want to bind something to the variable. So equal, we're going to add a string to it. So now that we, in Go, we learned that if you use like your walrus indicator, which is the colon equals, it would automatically guess what the type of variable was by the data that is added to that. Thanks, Lady P. Welcome. So yeah, there we go. That's right. The party can now begin. Lady P has arrived. So, all right. So we have equal sign. On the right side, the equal sign is the value that guess is bound to, which is the result of calling string : new, a function that returns a new instance of a string. String is a string type. Duh. String is a string type. Okay, string is a string type. Provided by the standard library that is a rowable. So I'm assuming that means it's can move, kind of like slices were in Golang. So UTF encoded bit of text. So UTF-8 is UTF-8, or not UTF equals 8, but so it's all of the characters under the sun. So you get all these fun character bits. Let me see. There was a nice table over here. There we go. There you go. So you have 97 is an A, 98 is a B. You've got some fancy ass Cyrillic and other characters over here for like UTF. So yeah, I mean, and I guess there's thousands and thousands and thousands of these. So the idea, and even I guess this is where emojis are put in as well. So yeah, so here we go. We got all kinds of Unicode stuff. Yeah. UTF-800F is something called SS3. So EBCDIC. Lady P knows what EBCDIC is. It's extended binary coded decimal interchange code. There you go. You can see where like U.0048 is an H. All right, let's go back to the program. All right, so so this is it's the blue version of ASCII. Well, let's not get blue, okay? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, the : new is a function. It's an empty string, so anything inside of that is going to be passed back to guess. It's created a mutable variable that's currently bound to a new empty instance of string. So yeah, so anything that goes inside that string is going to be passed back to guess. So, all right, receiving user input. So we're down here to this line. Hey, Digital Warhead. Oh my goodness, wow. There's some new yeah, I was gonna say there's some new emojis in my channel here. Wow. Okay. Very nice. Um, so if we hadn't imported the IO library, std.io, right there, we could have called this using stdio stdin. So we're doing the input output, but we're looking for only specifically the stdin. And depending, seems like it would be easier for you to call the entire library up here on top than it would be to call it inside, because I'm not sure if that is a best practice or not, but it would seem like it's the logical practice for me, because if you've got a big 1,000-line bit of code, you're going to be trying to figure out, okay, how did they make this happen? Oh, okay, right here on line 57, they called, std io stdin, and then they're using it all the way down in like line 500 or something like that. So it seems to me for ease, to see where all your dependencies are, you maybe want to put this up top. I don't know. If anybody has any other thoughts, please let me know. But for accounting purposes, you'd want to know what all your dependencies were inside of your stuff. So, okay. So next, the read line, or at ampersand mute guess, calls the read line method. So there's the read line method dot read line on the standard input handle to get the input from the user. Okay, so it this runs, and then it's like, input your number, and then it'll be blink 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 waiting for you to put a number in. You type 47, you hit enter, I would imagine. That gets put into the string. String gets string : new gets added to the guess variable, and then it's used later on, like you guessed 47. So in the println it says you guessed, and then guess would be 47. You could put 892871311111111 forever. It would be the same thing. I'm assuming it would put anything you wanted, though, so you could also put like letters, numbers, and stuff. So if you wanted to make it, what keeps it from being that number? I don't think there's anything that keeps it from being that. So I'm assuming there's more checks we're going to have to put in. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I assume that would be something it would have to look for, is like, this isn't a valid number, or what have you. So Beta Wolf, yeah, I think there's something happening on Thursday. You go join the Discord, and I think Matt has something going on for Thursday that is like a lunchtime thing, maybe up in Kirkland. I think that's where the last one was. So we're also passing mute guess as the argument to read line to tell it what string to store the user input in. Right. So, okay. So, expect input. We want you to put it into guess. And then the full job of read line is to take whatever the user types in standard in, append it to the string without overwriting the contents. Interesting. So right now there's nothing in string new. So when you put in 47, it takes whatever was in there before and just adds 47, the number 47 to it. Oh yeah, yeah. Digital Word Black Lodge is doing Thursday Hack Night. That's right. Thank you for reminding me of that. So, also any listeners or viewers or watchers that have events in their cities, please feel free to drop those into chat, because we're a worldwide stream, and maybe there's somebody out there that's like, well, I live in Springfield, Illinois, and I don't know what's going on there. And it's like, well, I also live in Springfield, Illinois, and I know about this hackerspace and this event thing going on. It'd be like, oh, cool. Now I know that things are happening. BFE is definitely a place to live in, of which I have at one time lived there. Yeah. So The ampersand, okay, so the ampersand in this case, I'm assuming they mean this one here, indicates the argument is a reference, which gives you a way to let multiple parts of your code access one piece of data without needing to copy that data into memory multiple times. That's interesting. Okay, so the mute the mute can be used in several situations. Mutable variables. So guess will only be copied into memory one time instead of copied multiple places. I guess that makes sense. Um, Interesting. But that means, well, okay, well, so the guess variable gets stored in memory somewhere, so something has to know where that exists to be able to pull from it multiple times. Seems like you don't need to know a lot of these details to finish this program for now. All you need to know is that like variables, references are immutable by default. Hence, you need to write at mute guess rather than at guess to make it mutable. Oh, okay. So if I did at guess, you would have issues because it would take a mutable value and make it immutable. That's interesting. Okay. Huh. Probably have to read a little bit more about that. I've come to realize how bad my Reddit addiction is with the protest shutdown the last couple of days. Probably for the better to take a break. Um, yeah, digital. I had not to derail the stream because I'm sure everybody here is to learn about Rust. Um, I also had some discords that also were like shut down in protest of what happened on Reddit, which I found that quite interesting. I'm not sure how one equated to the other, um, but yeah, I didn't notice because I go to Reddit sparingly, and probably not to the most popular ones that are available. Um, I also don't use any of the apps that people were complaining about. I think I use the official Reddit app because I don't know any better. And, you know, I get it. You know, they've been given a free ride forever, and Reddit's got to make money. So Reddit's going to do what's necessary to make money. Twitter started it. Reddit's moving to that direction too. Um, they have to make a profit at some point, right? I hit Reddit often, and yeah, I use the stock Reddit app as well because I don't care that much. I find the issue annoying. Yeah, the plain fact of the matter is, unless you buy the Reddit premium or whatever it is, no one is mad about the profit making. They're mad about how the conversation was around it. Oh, I didn't know that, Beta Wolf. Um, I don't follow all the politics. I just go to like r/RPG or r/San Diego, or the ones that I use are pretty much very few. I don't uh, I rarely go there to do anything. But yeah, I mean I get it. Some people are unhappy. I'm sure management fucked it up. It's not the first time Reddit's done something stupid and people have revolted. Uh, I don't need to go to Reddit anymore. I have GPT-4. CEO lied and accused people of blackmailing Reddit and all sorts of nonsense. You know what? I think I did hear something about that. Um, it's not my battle. The CEO said something. The person who said something else is there. I don't know. I haven't been on Reddit this week. If that makes people feel better, like, oh, you're siding with Reddit. I haven't been on Reddit all this week, so I'm protesting in my own way by not using the site at all. So there you go. Anyway, so handling failure. Okay, so we're adding error handling here. Dot expect, which as we found out, anything with a dot in front of it is a reference. Oh no, the argument is a reference. It's a method. So accept is a method, just like readline is. So if I'm assuming that if this doesn't evaluate to true, then you get accept. Everything after the fact. Oh no. Lady P's not Elphaba. No. What's worse is the person he accused has recorded calls of everything. Oh, wow. Well, there's a little more to it than Reddit needs to make money. The API access wasn't priced accurately. It was priced to shut down all third-party apps because they don't show Reddit advertising. Fair. They want everyone to use the official app. Apps like Reddit is fun, and Apollo are a world's different experience than their shitty stock app. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know any different, and I don't, Hey, Digital Warhead, I'll go you one better. I use the web interface through my Firefox because I'm old. So I also use the web interface for my Facebook as well. So that's just how much I see. I'm loading mobile.m.facebook.com inside my browser on my phone because I don't trust the Facebook app. I don't even have the Facebook app on or Reddit app on my phone. I use like Reddit. So Apollo even said I'd sell you Apollo for half a year's worth of what it would cost to run under the new API processing, and the CEO threatened me. Okay. It's as we've seen, the CEOs of social media companies don't have to do much to piss off their constituency. So that is it's an interesting paradigm there. And I hate using the word paradigm, but I think that's probably a legitimate use of the word right now. So um, it doesn't take much to piss people off. Uh, so I hope they figure it out. I'll continue using the Reddit through my Chrome web app and or my Chrome web browser, and we'll just go that way with it. That way, I don't have to use the shitty Reddit app as well. All right. So as mentioned earlier, readline puts whatever the user enters in the string. Also returns a result value. Result is an enumeration, so there's result. Results in enumeration, also called an enum. Use Reddit on Tor like a real hacker. You know what? I've never used Tor. 10 million to shut down a third party, which is exactly what Twitter did. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that, when Elon bought Twitter, he didn't shut TweetDeck down. Um, you know, they keep trying to push us to the new interface for TweetDeck. I find it aberrant. I find it unusable. Unlike most things where it's like, oh, I can deal with the change. I need all of my Twitter handles in nice columns, and you don't have that with the new one. It's like you have to switch channels every time or switch accounts. It's a pain in the ass. So if you've never used Tor, then you're not ever permitted to speak of hackering again. That's fair. I'm not a hacker, so there you go. We've interviewed I2P, the I2P folks on the podcast it's probably been about 7 years. You should at least download the Tor browser to understand it. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, the only thing the last time I tried, and so I don't use Tor, but I have tried using it. I found it to be very slow and not worth my time. I'm sure it's gotten faster. The problem is, what are you using it for? And if you're not using it exactly as expected, are you getting the benefits of what Tor is supposed to suggest you're getting from it? Brave can do Tor inherently. It's gotten slower. Oh, wow. Then, yes, Lady P, I definitely want to use something that's going to take my gig speed internet down to dial up speeds. Yeah, Brave. That's yet another browser I haven't used. I use Mozilla right now. Yeah. But yeah, I'm old and I'm tired, and yeah, all this security stuff is like I've kind of given shit. I've kind of given up. It's only slow because we don't have as many nodes as they used to, since the majority of the nodes were, well, illegal. You don't need to be moving a gigabit over Tor. That's fair. That's fair. I also use don't I you know I don't use DuckDuckGo either because, you know, when I put in my address, I actually want to see a map that shows me where I am. So I use, yeah, I'm not a security person. I just figured that out. So that's true. The sites aren't all that big. Most Tor sites, that is. Yeah, you know, some people do throw out like, you know, Tor, them hash like sites or whatever. You don't have to send that much data to the assassin you hired to take me out. Lady P, I'd never do that. You know that. I don't, you know, I don't, I'm not gonna hire an assassin to take you out. That wouldn't be, that would, no. I hired an assassin to take out these, easy Beatrix, easy Beatrix, kiddo. Um, the type that can be used in one of possible states. We'll call that possible state variant. So the result is, okay. And then a cleaner to, easy John Wick. All right, easy John Wick. The head and the, oh. I need 8 heads in a duffel bag there, Lady P. I don't need 1 head in a box. That's, you know. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I don't know what that is. Digital warhead. That, oh my God. I don't, if law enforcement comes by, I don't know digital warhead, okay? I didn't see that. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. I'm not looking at that onion site. Um, Chapter 6 will cover enums in more detail. The purpose of the result types is to encode error handling. Results variants are okay and error. Okay variant indicates true, right? Error means false. And should get error should contain information about how or why the operation failed. Probably mostly PC load loader. You know what? You'd be pretty special if you actually got an Onion link that would, you know, say Assassins for Hire.onion, and then it'd go like to a Barney the Dinosaur site or something like that. Values of the result type, like values of any type, have methods defined on them. An instance of result has an expect method that you can call. So this page has been blocked by Brave. Not surprised there, Lady P. Not surprised that Brave would actually, you know, do some kind of URL parsing and go, maybe that's not a good one to have. That's nuts. That is nuts. My goodness. If you don't call expect, the program will compile, but you get a warning. Cargo build. IO standard in read line, mute guess. This result may be an error variant which should be handled. Note, warn unused message. Yeah, okay, so it gives you an answer to why it failed, but it's like, what does that mean? Now I need to check on my Tails machine. Rust warns that you haven't used the result value returned from read line, indicating that the program hasn't handled a possible error. Right way to suppress the warnings to actually write error handling code, but in our case, we just want to crash this program when a problem occurs, so we'll use expect. Okay, you'll learn about recovering from errors in Chapter 9. So it's going to get installed Tuesday is what we're saying. Tails, it's been a while, my old friend. Oh. Yeah, I've heard about that quite a bit. Tails. Again, it's one of those ones that, you know, I heard about but never tried. Because I didn't really have any reason to be on Tor. So, printing values with println placeholders. Now we found out that anything with that bang in front of it or behind it is a macro, and that is it just prints the line string, which is now the user's input. So it's going to ask you to input your guess. You put in 47. It's going to set 47 equal to guess, and then it's going to ask you println you guessed 47. So it's just going to reflect back to you what you put in there. So technically, there's no reason why you couldn't put anything you want in that string. Number, letter, emoji, whatever. Anything a UTF-8 is fair game at this point. I wear a USB with a magnetic connector on a chain around my neck. Seriously, if someone orders me away from their machine, boom. I don't know, Beta Wolf. I wasn't a fan of Swordfish. You know, that's been out a while too. So maybe she's the net. You know, the net with Sandra Bullock. That was the real. That was real hackers right there. That one was really good. So. All right. So let me see this line prints. Yeah. The curly brackets is a placeholder. Think of the curly brackets as little crab pinchers that hold a value in place. Okay, I don't hate that. It also doesn't exist from Tails. Your safe bride. Mod the link. Yeah, okay, that's cool. I figured it was mostly okay. So um, I didn't think Digital Warhead actually had an onion link that would, you know, go to that unless they actually have like some kind of DNS function where some kind of hash goes down to that. Hello, I love watching Cape Horn. Glad you could join us here. Thank you so much. Yeah, see, I'm good. The only Onion links I probably is there anything legit on Onion links right now or on Tor? Like any legitimate sites that aren't like key generators or wares or assassins for hire like Lady P checked? I mean, what legitimate stuff is on there? It's like what would make me go, oh my god, I need to be on that site on at dial-up speeds. Okay, well, like I said, I use Facebook for that. Appreciate that, Digital Warhead. Thank you for letting us know that deep web is larger than the light web. So, Lady P, the deep web in this case is probably like cable. You've got 250 channels and 195 of them is shit, or it's like the learning channel where it's like, yeah, it's like an iceberg, except the iceberg is made of shit, and there's so much more shit below the line, right? 80% of data is in the dark web. You know what? Maybe one of these days during our stream, we'll actually, I'll set up some Tails or set up some Brave, and we'll make it happen. It's more a question of what you want to do. Some of that shit can't be gotten elsewhere. I don't know what shit I want to do because my first thought is Tor equals illegal activity. Tor equals illegal activity for me. I have no reason to go to Tor. Well, there's if you want a guide for that stream, let me know. You know what, Lady P, that's I think that would probably be good because I'm sure there's a lot of folks like me that's like the dark web, and it's like, what does that mean? The dark web. Dark web means where bad shit is, right? Why would I want to go there? And maybe that's marketing's fault, where it's like, oh, the dark web, you know. So, all right. So I'm assuming everything is going to work when I run this. I'm just going to assume it all is going to work. What? CD guessing game. According to this, it should work. So cargo, run. Nope. Did I? You probably want an adult or explicit tag for that stream, though. All of my stuff is explicit there, Lady P. But yeah, we would definitely do that. It's not much of a guessing game when it tells you what's wrong. No method named except my oh, you know what? That's my bad. I'm an idiot. It's expect, right? It's not accept. It's expect, and I spelled expect wrong. God's damn. There we go. What? Yeah, let's scroll back up here. Scroll back up here. Expect. Okay, all this. Okay, let me. I'm gonna turn some stuff off because I don't like don't like the fucking extensions. So let's turn off the Rust Analyzer. Disable. There. Okay. Turned off the Rust Analyzer because I'm just, ugh. I tried clipping it, but on mobile. I think your last follower has one of them, those usernames. When you say it out loud, it's against the TOS. You might want to consider banning them. Okay. Fair enough. That's why I got people. Mm-hmm. User successfully ignored. Okay, so I have blocked the Cape Horn person. Well, somebody joined us, Lady P, that said, I love Cape Horn. I don't know what that means. And because I'm old, I just went ahead and blocked them because Digital Warhead, told me that it might be against the TOS. I don't know what that means. So I'm sure it means something. I just don't know what that was. So, to be on the safe side, I'm glad that we have people here who, let me know that kind of stuff. So, all right. So, standard IO. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I'm not missing that. Okay. Read line at mute guess expect not accept expect failed to read line. IO standard in at mute print lin you guessed yes. GPT doesn't know either. Yeah, I don't know. If that person is a real person, they'll probably try to hit me up and go, why allow me to get on your stream. Okay. You said it out loud. It sounded like a kid. Oh. Interesting. That, yeah. Ugh. It didn't sound that way when I said it out, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good enough. Well, thank you, Digital Warhead. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, maybe it's because I like to overpronounce things. So yeah, but yeah, appreciate that, and hopefully that person will get reported or will end up being busted by the folks there. So all right, so I'm trying to figure out why my source main.rs is not going. So I'm hoping this isn't like a space. There's a method similar with a similar name called expect. Okay. That's what I need to do. I didn't save it, so I had to save it again, and now it will hopefully run. There we go. There you go. No, Beta Wolf. It was all my idea. This was all my idea. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, you're absolutely correct. I didn't save it actually, and of course I did expect or accept instead of expect. So there we go. All right, so let's put a number in. We'll put in 12. Oh, you guessed 12. Done. All right. Well, let's play around with it a little bit. Input your guess. So yeah, so it will take anything basically. So obviously you'd want to put in some things. It's like, hey, this isn't a number. Hey, I'm seeing alphanumerics in here. You might also just say I will only accept 0 through 9, 0 through 9, 0 through 9 kind of thing. So well, that worked. I wonder what the I'm hoping what they'll do. And the one thing I've always wanted to learn about for programming was you're going to get these warnings, and I know that this one is because I've put it in for those of you watching the video. My Rust project or my GitHub projects, one uses spaces, which I fucked up there. I need to fix that because now I hate myself. But the other one is Google Drive on my computer works a little differently, so it doesn't allow for things like, hard linking of files or something like that. So that's why you're seeing those error messages there. I'm assuming if I had put it on a real drive on my computer, that would have worked out properly. So all right, so let's scroll down back to the bottom here. Println placeholders, testing the first part. Yep, generating a secret number. Next, we'll generate a secret number that the user will try to guess. The secret number should be different every time, so the game is fun to play more than once. Okay, so now we're iterating, right? We've created the skeleton of it where it's going to ask us something. So now there's going to be something where it's going to generate the random number for you to go, hot or cold, high or low, that kind of thing. Let's see, we'll use a random number between 1 and 100 so the game isn't too difficult. Rust doesn't yet include a random number functionality in its standard library. However, the Rust team does provide a rand crate with said functionality. Yeah, it says yet. Yeah. Interesting. Well, the thing is, if they put something in that does random number functionality and it isn't exactly random, you're going to run into some problems. So somebody's probably created something better, which is why they have the rand crate in here. So using a crate to get more functionality. A crate is a collection of Rust source code files. They're so cute with their words and things. A crate is a collection of Rust source code files. The project we've been building is a binary crate, which is an executable. Rand crate is a library crate, which contains code that is intended to be used in other programs and can't be executed on its own. Okay, so it's not a package, or it's not a dependency per se. It sounds like it's just pile of code, right? Like it said. Okay, so now we need to open our cargo.toml file again. Cargo.toml. And we're going to add, under dependencies, rand equals. So if it doesn't have a cute naming convention, is it worth learning in 2020? Right. If you don't have some kind of in jokes or something like that, then it's not worth learning. So why am I picking a specific version number? Could I put latest in here? Could I put latest? I mean, what stops me from putting the latest version in there? Oh, maybe it's down here at the bottom. Semver, which is standard for writing version numbers. 085 is shorthand for little caret 085, which means any version that is 085 but below 090. Cargo considers these versions to have public APIs compatible with 085, and this specification ensures you get the latest patch release that will still compile with the code in this chapter. Any version 090 or greater is not guaranteed to have the same API as to what the following examples use. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So no guarantees. You're likely to get into some trouble like you did the last time. Yes, I hear you, Lady P. Yeah, I guess no code is actually completely backward compatible in this case. All right, so that's my TOML file. And then we do cargo build. All right, so we got a bunch of extra shite that comes with the code. So, yo, dog, I heard you like code, so I've got code inside your code to, process your code for code. Okay, all the numbers kind of fit. We got Rand Core 064. We got 0217 for PPV Lite. So we do have some slight changes in version numbers that don't match the example here. You may see different version numbers. They'll all be compatible with the code thanks to Semver, and different lines depending on the operating system, and the lines may be in a different order. When we include external dependencies, Cargo fetches the latest versions of everything that the dependency needs from the registry, which is a copy of data from Crates.io. Crates.io is where people in the Rust ecosystem post their open source Rust projects for others to use. So Yeah. Crates.io. There it is right there. Well, okay. Well, what is the current version? They're up to 0.85 right now. Okay, so I could have put technically. Well, I did 0.85. Okay, so that's the latest version they have. Okay. Doing all the AI stuff, I'm constantly inversioning hell with Python requirements. Pip install requirements actually causes me to break into calls. I run Anaconda environment so that it keeps my stuff from clobbering everything else. Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, do you actually have to have different versions of Python installed because, oh, it'll use 2.6.7 and then 3.0.5 or something like that? Or what do you work? Or is the Python all three? Okay. Yeah. I had the same problem. It was not dependency hell, but back in my day, when I had to install things like Oracle database, Oracle packages its own version of Java, its own version of everything, and so you would patch one version of the Java on the in your Solaris or in your system, but big projects or big pieces of software come with their own Python, their own Java, their own Ruby, their own stuff, and you'll patch the one, but you won't patch the other, and then like a good vulnerability management tool, it'll scan for every instance of Ruby or every instance of Python on the system. Oracle messed up with that. You just said the same thing twice there, Beta Wolf. Oracle messed up. Oracle is messed up. Oracle equals messed up. So Oracle is the definition of messed up. And I will stand by that, by the way. Having had my wife work there for 8 months and being nothing but a pain in her ass mentally, yeah, you don't want to work there. So just heads up for folks that might want to look at a job there. It's yeah. I have one too that runs on 3.11x, but another one that will only run in 3.6.3.7. Jesus, that sucks, Lady P. That's unfortunate. It's a shame they don't. Yeah, shame they don't. My next thing was why don't they just So I'm sure there's a reason for it, but there we go. After updating the registry, Cargo checks the dependency sections, downloads any crates that aren't already downloaded. In this case, we only listed Rand as a dependency, but it grabbed other crates that Rand depends on to work. So Rand has dependencies that have dependencies that have dependencies that have dependencies. Ideally, you're looking at kind of an SBOM. So you at least your TOML file has the necessary bits that are in the system. Maybe. I'm sure you'd be able to pull all this stuff in if you wanted to. You might actually put your output somewhere so you can know which versions of these libraries you're going to have. Don't know what that looks like, but yeah. All right, so it's okay. We got 20 till the hour. All right, you won't get any output from the finish line. Cargo knows it's already downloaded and compiled the dependencies. You haven't changed anything about them. Cargo also knows you haven't changed anything, so it doesn't recompile that either. With nothing to do, it simply exits. Okay, cool. If you open the source main RS file, make a trivial change, and then save it and build again, you'll only see 2 lines of output. These lines show Cargo only updates the build with your tiny change to the main RS file. Your dependencies haven't changed, so Cargo knows it can reuse what it's already downloaded and compile for those. So it makes it faster every time, right? As long as you don't add any new dependencies, it won't recompile. It'll just incorporate your changes or your fixes. Ensuring reproducible builds with the cargo.lock file. Cargo has a mechanism that ensures you can rebuild the same artifact every time you or anyone else builds your code. Cargo will only use the versions of the dependencies you specified until you indicate otherwise. For example, say that next week 0.86 of Rand comes out, and that version contains a bug fix, which can also contain a regression that will break your code. To handle this, Rust creates a cargo lock file the first time you run cargo builds. So now we have this in the guessing game. So you can hard code certain versions of a library. Obviously, this is not something the security people would enjoy. You obviously want to be able to put the latest version of a library inside of the code. But if 086 causes a regression, um, you can't upgrade to 086 if it breaks your code. So interesting bit of quandary there. So, I mean, I get it. You know, I mean, that I don't know. You would think you would run some sort of check or I assume like pip you can do greater than version. Yeah, it says here it will take anything between 085 and 090, right? I think that was what it set up here for the, where was it? Yeah, right here. So the specifier 085 is actually shorthand for this, which means any version between 085 and 090. So if RAND ever went to 0.9.0, you'd have to probably manually go in, add 090, and then cargo build it again. So it would pull down the 090 version and run that. Yeah. Pillow greater than or equal to, right, right. Yeah, it sets 085 as the baseline version, so it won't go down to 0804 or 084 or 083 or whatever, or an earlier version of that. So um, 085 is the absolute minimum it needs to run. Okay, so there's a lot more to say about Cargo and its ecosystem, which will be installed on Tuesday, or chapter 14 in this case. But for now, that's all you need to know. Cargo makes it easy to reuse libraries, so people are able to write smaller programs that are assembled from a number of packages. Let's start using RAND to generate a number to guess. Next step is to update source main RS as shown in 2.3. All right, so we are going to Control S and we'll close that. Control S, we won't close that, but we will shrink this up and shrink that up. All right. And I've turned off Rust Analyzer because the gray things are annoying as shit. So I'm sure there's a reason for it. I just find it annoying and it gets in the way. So if I didn't write it, I don't want it in my code. So, all right, so we got func main, guess the number. We're gonna let secret number. Okay, so we need. I hope VS Code is smarter, and I guess it is, but Rust only uses spaces, not tabs. So it appears VS Code is smart enough to not use tabs; it uses spaces. So we're gonna let me inside. All right, so oh, and of course the line ends with a semicolon. There you go. Or in pip, you can change requirements based on OS, like accelerate equals equals platform, not Windows. Oh, okay. Secret. Okay, so we need this next println line. The secret number is, and then secret number. So it's going to cheat for us and tell us what our secret number is. Println. All right, and curly bracket, secret number. All right, so input your guess. Let mute guess equals string new, standard in, at mute, guess. Okay, that's it. First we add the line ran ring, so ran RNG. What? Oh, my bad. Use rand or rand RNG, so that's random number generator RNG. Okay, and then we, all those other things are in good. The RNG trait defines the methods that the random number generator implements, and this trait must be in scope for us to use these methods. Chapter 10. Okay, we'll learn about it later. We're adding 2 lines to the middle, right? We did that. So rand thread RNG. So rand, and then we're using this function from the rand library, or the rand crate in this case. Function that gives us the particular random number generator we're going to use. So there's obviously others that you could use in here for specific functions that have to do with random number generation. We're going to use one that is local to the current thread of execution and is seeded by the operating system. Then we call gen range, which is the method on the random number generator. This method is defined by RNG trait we brought into scope using the rand RNG statement. The generate range method takes a range expression as an argument and generates a random number in the range. Okay, which is why we have 1 to 100. So if you did, let's just say we did 1 to 10. Or technically, you could even do, you may get an error if you did 1 to 1, but we'll do 1 to 10, just for shits and giggles. Nah, let's do 1 to 100. Let's not screw the pooch here. So we need to specify 1 to equals 100. So yeah, so from 1 to 100. So 1 to equal 100. So I'm assuming if you did without the equal, it would be 1 to 99. You won't know which traits to use and which methods and functions to call from a crate, so each crate has documentation with instructions for it. Another neat feature of Cargo is that running the cargo doc open command will build docs provided by all of your dependencies locally and open in your browser. If you're interested in other functionality in the rand crate, for example, run cargo doc open and click rand in the sidebar on the left. Okay, cargo doc open. Now what was it? Rand? No, okay. Cargo doc open. Oh, we're building documentation. Well, if it was that easy, why isn't everyone doing it? Okay, so now I need to, it says opening, but, oh, there it goes. Okay, Firefox Nightly, use this app to open HTML files. So there we go. Here's our documentation, and we see rand there. Utilities for random number generation, random. For this book, modules, we have distributions, prelude, RNGs, sequence related functionality, crypto RNG, fill RNG. So there's which one we pulled. Yeah, we pulled RNG. So that's that one right there. This is the hub trait ring RNG core. So these are provided methods. There's a lot of math here. Function fill. Okay, so we have fill, try fill, gen boolean. So gen bool, gen boolean in this case. We have sample, gen ratio. OpenAI just released a new model, 3.5 turbo with 16K context. Whoa. Is that like, wait, I thought they were already on 4. Why are they going backwards? Free random. Why are they going backwards? I thought GPT-4 was coming out. Is 3.5 turbo? Is that like saying, it's a Pentium 2 with, the math processor engaged or something? 16K context. I don't know what that is. It sounds terribly awesome there, Lady P. 4 is hard to support. 3.5 turbos between 3. Okay. Yes, I get it. 3 is free, 4 is paid, 3.5 is mostly free. Lady P, I think for us noobs and ignorant types like myself, what does 8K context mean in that kind of context? Anyway, so we got generic usage. Wow, a little bit of documentation here. I wonder who writes all this documentation, because as I have been known to, laugh at, developers don't write documentation. So cool that people are actually writing this documentation and making it available. So let us go back. All right, so the new line prints the secret number. While this is useful, we're developing the program to test it. We'll delete it from the final version. Okay, so this is the debug. This is pretty much debug right here. And then we can go into save because, BetaWolf told me I should save my programs while I'm writing them. Go back to, there we go, got that. And then cargo run. All right. Okay, so the secret number is 20. I don't see that. I'm going to just type. Okay, then I'm going to hit enter. Well, it didn't tell me I got it right or wrong. The number of tokens it can remember at a time. A word is generally a couple of tokens-ish. So a 16K context is probably about 8,000 characters of memory versus 2,000 for the old 3.5 or 4,000 for GPT. Huh. Scott in the Discord? No, he did. I don't know if he does. He probably does. Scott's a good dude. I'm not going to say anything. If he does write documentation, he's a more patient man than I am. So he might actually. Interesting. So it will. Oh God. Let me screenshot that. I'm just kidding. Let it be known that we love Scott Pack. He's my Wheel of Time buddy. We're both in like book 14 right now. So all right, so okay, so it guessed the secret number. It generated a secret number. I put in 14. It says you guessed 14. So I'm guessing it is guessing. So we run it again. So the secret number is 35. If I do 35, nothing changes. So I'm assuming the next step here is going to be like comparing those two numbers. Did you get it right? No, blah. If you got it wrong, oh, blah. So that I have been talking about Rand today. Matter of fact, wow, Lady P, well done, you. Well done. Yeah. So after I read these 14 books, I was like, wow, I wonder if there's a podcast about, there's about 800 of them. So I was like, well, okay, I don't need to do another one of those. But so at some point, it says try running the program a few times. So I've done that. I did that at least twice. So you should get different random numbers. They all should be between 1 and 100. Okay. 49. All right. So, if we did 10, I wonder. Okay, so, so that caused it to have to regenerate. Okay, so the secret number, secret number is 1 because it's arranged from 1 to 1. That is actually a possibility that could have happened. All right. So undo. All right, save that. Of course, it will recompile again. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So the secret number is now 3. So comparing okay. So the next iteration was comparing the guess to the secret number. So, no, Lady P. That's not. Lady P. What I just heard in my ear, I don't know if everyone else heard, was Lady P posting a screenshot to Scott. So, all right, so we're gonna have to add a few more dependencies for the next bit, and it will tell you, okay, too hot or too cold, right? Too small, too big. You might also change that to be like, oh, too high or too low, like, oh, you're too high or you're too low. It might iterate through at some point where it'd be like you're going to continue trying to guess until you get it right. So there'll be some additional bits there, but we'll work on that another time. May not work on it this week. It'll probably be next Tuesday, depending on what or this weekend, depending on what my availability is like as we get close to this move. I have to pick up my mother-in-law tomorrow night. I have to pick up my mother on Thursday so that we can all attend my daughter's graduation on Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock actually. And then my mother, I think, goes back Sunday. So maybe I'll do something on Sunday. We'll see what happens. But I just want to make it known. Love me some Scott Pack. He's my homie. He's my Wheel of Time bro. I love Lady P. She's my awesome moderator. Digital Warhead Beta Wolf, thank you so much for being here today. And oh, do we have any new people? Nope, no new people today. So no new people following me except for the person that I banned. I'm going to report that person. So let me see, username. Let's ban. Yeah, it says report I love watching, and it says username. So I'm gonna go ahead and doink. What are you submitting this report? Violence and gore, bullying or harassment, hateful conduct, self-harm, nudity or sexually explicit, spam, scams or bots, terrorism. I'm gonna say sexually explicit. Sure, why not? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's exactly what they were meaning by this. Why are you submitting this report? So, maybe a scam or spam. Yeah, there we go. Spam. Nope. Scam. It's fun trying to report people doing the right thing. Yeah, there we go. The name sounded a bit sus. What are they gonna do? Ban me? Nah. I'll just go to YouTube. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. What's a big ass MBR? We can talk about it offline there. Digital Warhead. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll be on. I'll let everybody know on Discord when I'm gonna be on this weekend or whatever. Probably won't be Friday. And then Tuesday will be next Tuesday will be the last one I do here in the Seattle office, Seattle World Headquarters. And then we'll try to do something the following weekend. So we're getting down to it, y'all. We're almost in single digits. So thank you all for coming. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk soon. Bye, y'all.